Hi everyone, I'm Jason, and if you're new to cigars, welcome to Corona Cigar Company. As always, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. Firstly, welcome to the amazing world of cigars where you can explore an incredible wealth of flavors and blends from tobacco across the world, made by some of the most talented blenders and craftsmen across the industry. There's never been a better time to get into cigars than right now because there are more options available to you than ever before. And with all those options, there's a cigar out there for everyone. Some people like mild cigars, some people like robust cigars, like me. Some people want to smoke for an hour, some people want to smoke for 2 or 3 hours. It's all up to you. Some shops only carry a handful of brands. We carry hundreds of blends and varieties from across the world, and when I walk into Corona Cigar, I'm like a kid in the candy store and I head straight for the Aganorsa. But for a new smoker, it can be incredibly overwhelming to see rows upon rows of cigars and they all just look the same. So we decided to make this guide to give you a good starting point and develop your palate and figure out what suits you before you dive headfirst into the amazing world of super premium cigars. So to start this guide off, I'm smoking the Macanduo Baron de Rothschild from the Cafe line. This was actually the first cigar I ever smoked 8 years ago. It has Dominican tobacco through and through, used to be made from Jamaican tobacco. This is a very mild cigar with a little bit of earthiness and a little bit of creaminess. This is a smooth, easy smoke that anybody can enjoy as their first cigar, much like I did several years ago. This is also a cheaper cigar. It's usually under $10 and you can find them anywhere. Next up, we have the Aladino Connecticut, a Honduran Puro produced by Serie tobacco. I remember when these cigars first came out and we all crowded around them because we were excited to try them. A very mild to medium body, exuding flavors of earthiness, licorice, and cream. This is a perfect cigar for a beginner because, as for the retrohale, you don't want any pepper when you first start with cigars, because pepper can be a huge turnoff. Next up, we have the Corona Nicaraguan 10th Anniversary Candela. Originally released in 2008, this one has a sweet tip and it's great for beginners because it leaves with a nice sweet finish. They also have a natural and a Connecticut. The natural is also sweet tipped and the Connecticut is not. The cigar is also really cheap and affordable for anybody starting out in cigars. Next up, we have the Davidoff Signature No. 2. Most people, when they think about cigars, they think about luxury. They think about expensive cars and expensive wines, expensive liquors, expensive everything. And the Davidoff Signature No. 2 is a little bit up there in price, but the Davidoff White Label is a great introduction to your next tier of premium cigars. Davidoff is known for having a very mild white label series, and it's hard to have a bad time when smoking a Davidoff. Next up, we have the Ashton Classic. Made from 3 to 4 year aged tobacco and produced in a flawless Connecticut shade wrapper, Ashton Classic is great for anybody that's getting into cigars because they're very mild, good construction, and they even look eloquent. Ashton Classic has a slight peppery note, but never overpowering, notes of butter, cream, and a little bit of licorice. Goes great with rum or a coffee in the morning to get your day started. What beginner list wouldn't be complete without mentioning the 20 Acre Farm? 20 Acre Farm is made by Drew Estate and features our FSG tobacco grown here in Claremont, Florida. This is the Toro, which made number 5 on the Cigar and Spirits list and number 14 on Cigar Journal list. 20 Acre Farm is a great starter cigar because there's a little bit of pepper, but not enough to overpower. I'd say it's around a mild to medium cigar. Goes great with coffee, great with a good rum at the end of the night. You can't go wrong with a 20 Acre Farm. Next up, we have the Oliva G Cameroon. For those of you that are starting cigars, I would recommend trying this one after a couple of your first ones. It's more of a medium. The Cameroon wrapper exudes a little bit of creaminess along with a little bit of spice. Not enough to overpower, not like their Oliva Melanio series. They're more for advanced smokers, but the Oliva G was one of my first cigars too. This is a super affordable stick, usually found under $10, and you can get this anywhere. Next up is the Arturo Fuente Short Story. I'll bet before you started smoking cigars, you've heard of Arturo Fuente, and that's because they're one of the biggest brands around. I recommend the Arturo Fuente short story because it is a good mild to medium cigar. It goes well with coffee in the morning, goes well with a light rum at the end of the night, maybe even a vodka or a gin, honestly. Arturo Fuente also has a lot of accessories to go with their cigars, including lighters and ashtrays, and of course you've probably seen the Opus X. But I would wait before you try one of those to try a couple of these first. This is also great because it is a really quick smoke. You could probably knock one out in about 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you're careful. Never rush cigars. Cigars are meant to be enjoyed. Next up, we have the La Colmena Amado 44 by Warp Cigars. Great thing about Warp Cigars is that most of them are mild to medium. Even after you enjoy this one, there are plenty of others you can enjoy and still stay in the beginner realm of cigars. La Colmena means the beehive in Spanish, and to go with that, one of the major notes is honey. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of honey, a little bit of creaminess. Goes great with coffee, especially a cafe con leche. The great thing about Warp Cigars is that they have a smaller ring gauge and are much more easily approachable for newer cigar smokers. Lastly, we have the Brickhouse Connecticut. Features a Connecticut wrapper and binder. I recommend the Brickhouse Connecticut because it's a good mild to medium bodied cigar. It's not super strong and exudes notes of creaminess, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of cedar. After you've checked out a few cigars on this list, a few others I'd recommend would be the Vinegar Cream Connecticut, the Monty White series, the 1875 by Romeo y Julieta. If you are a new or a returning smoker, leave a comment down below and let us know what you smoked for your first time. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe. I'm Jason, and I'll see you guys next time.